Here is the review of Transformers Beast Wars Walmart exclusive Optimus Primal. Now this figure is like the same as the original one that came out in 1995. But the Walmart exclusive, which I have here, there is a little bit of differences with the Walmart exclusive versus the original one, which I did not expected that because when I first got the Walmart exclusive, which is this one, I thought that this was just gonna be a straight up, well, I thought that this was gonna be the exact same figure like the original one, but it's not. Well, it is still the exact same figure. There's like a little bit of differences with the color scheme, but we're gonna get to that when we get to robot mode. But anyway, so as you can see, Primal is of course a gorilla, like he's been in the Beast Wars cartoon. And it's not really show accurate, as you can tell here, just like the original one, because in the show he was a more gray gorilla, but this one here is a lot more black, but he still does look nice. And he does have some gray on his face with some yellow on his teeth here. Well, yellow paint on his teeth. And he is like doing that Ninja Turtle growling face, which some people call it. And he does have some blue on his eyes and some gray on his chest here, as well as his abs here. Some gray on his hands. Oh, and he does have a little bit of robot kibble on him. Not a lot, just a little bit, like Well, like on the back, you can see these are going to be his robot mode feet here. And you can also see some robot mode kibble here. Well, some robot mode legs here. If you move his legs in beast mode, even a little bit on his shoulders here. Like right there and right there. But he does have some more fur detail here, which is right there and right here. But they're not picked out in paint, which I wish that they were. But it is what it is. Oh, and there's some more robot mode legs on the bottom here, which is peeking out here. And there's nowhere to hide these. And that's pretty much it. And as for articulation, well, he does have some articulation in beast mode. But, okay, well, his arms do rotate all the way around. They do move in and out. And he does swivel at the elbows here, which is at the bicep swivel. And he does bend at the elbow here. But both of these are locked together. I mean, they can still move. For no problems. And they do have some nice ratchets when you move them in and out and rotate them at the bicep. But when you move this arm out and then when you bring it down, the other arm moves out. Because both of these are geared together. And this is because of the gimmick that it does. but you can still move them. Just be careful not to break some of the ratchets. And you can also move his biceps here, which is again on a ratchet. And no, this elbow, which is the bicep here, doesn't, well, when you move this, the other one doesn't move. And for the back, well, for the legs, because these are going to be his, well, these are going to be his robot mode legs, but they do move up and down on a ball joint and can also move in and out. And you can see that there's that ball joint there. And he can also bend at the knee here. And that's it. Oh, and if you want to, you can rotate his waist. Because his waist does swivel. And no, his gorilla head doesn't move. It's fixed in this position, which means if you want to display him standing up in gorilla mode, you can't, because his head is stuck in this position, which means if you stand him up in gorilla mode, he's gonna be like looking up. And that's about it for the articulation in beast mode. And now for the gimmick. To do the gimmick, you do need to position his arms like this, and on the back you do need to flip up this lever here. And as you bring the lever up and down, his arms will move, and you can have him beat his chest. which is a fun gimmick to me. So, I think it's now time to transform him. So to transform him, you just want to take his legs here and bring them down. And you also want to take his gorilla toes here and rotate them around to make his heel spurs. Then you want to rotate his waist around, flip down his robot mode feet, and as you bring them down, these pistons will move down. And yes, he does have some working pistons here. Then you just rotate his arms down. Rotate his elbows around. And for these things, you do want to untap them from this peg to these holes here and flip them up to make his shoulder pads. And for the gorilla face here, you just want to take it and untap it from this peg here, and then bring it down. And before you bring it down, well, you do want to bring it down to about here, but not all the way down, because you do need to take the gorilla face and rotate it around to make the robot mode chest, and then you can bring it all the way down, and then bring up his robot mode head. And you're done. Now, but before we get a closer look at the robot mode, y'all may have noticed that, well, I was just checking on something. Okay, Now, before we get into the closer look at the robot mode, y'all may have noticed that he has like a different face here. That's because this is not his actual face here. This is actually a mutant face here, because for those of you who don't know, that this is from the earlier releases of the B-Source characters, and some of them have these mutant faces, which is like a fake face. But to reveal his real face, you want to take the whole head and rotate it around. And then you want to take the fake face and bring it down. Well, first I gotta get these missiles out. But you do want to take the fake face and bring it down. And then you want to hold this down so that way you can take the real head and rotate it around. And that is his actual head from the show. Which is not show accurate. Well, it is kinda, but in the show, he actually had a mouth here. But here, he just has his faceplate, which he only used it one time in the show. But I have seen some people where they have modified it to give him an actual mouth. I'm not gonna do that. But the 10th anniversary version of this figure does have a molded in mouth here. And also, these antennas are also modified, where he has 4 of these things. But here he only has 2 of these antennas. Even the Masterpiece and the Robot Masters versions does have a molded in mouth on both of those. Also, But as for the robot mode itself, it still does look great. And it still looks like how it does on the show. Except, now if you remembered what I told y'all, this is the Walmart exclusive, not the original one. But the differences with the Walmart exclusive version versus the original one is, on the original one, the robot mode head here was all just plain blue with some red on the back of the head here. But here, as you can see, well, if I shine the light here, you can see it's all dark blue. And the dark blue is really, really hard to see. Because when you look at this like far away, or if it's totally black or dark in your area, it looks like it's black. But then when you shine a light through it, or look up really close at it, if you have a light, it's dark blue. And I thought that they kept just the normal blue on the Walmart exclusive figure. When I first got this figure. But no. They made it totally different by just painting the entire head a dark blue. And also his chest here, again, the original one had some red paint on the inside of his chest, but the Walmart exclusive version has no paint. And also, these three things here are also that same dark blue paint. Whereas on the original one, these were just a plain blue paint. But here it's just dark blue, which is weird. And for the whole robot mode, he still has the same gray or black on him, but he does have a little bit of white on him, like on his arms here, even his legs here, and his feet, and a little bit of red, which is here on both sides, and even some red here, and red on his knees, some red on the pistons here, and that's about it. And for our articulation, he pretty much has the same articulation like in the beast mode, but the difference is that his robot mode head can swivel, and on the base of the neck is on a ball joint. But everything else is the same articulation, like in the beast mode. And he does have some features and some gimmicks in robot mode, but he has a lot more in robot mode. The first one that I'm going to show you is well, I am going to show you the same chest pounding gimmick, because you can still do the same chest pounding gimmick. So you can still do the same chest pounding gimmick like in the beast mode, but in robot mode, on his arms here, he does have these switches here. Right now they're, well, yeah. Right now they're they're down, which means if they're switched down, then his arms can only move in and out. But if you switch them up, and now when you bring down, well, when you move the lever up and down, his elbows will spin. And for the next gimmick that he has is on the back. He does have a button which is right here, and when you push it, these two things will swing up. And you get two shoulder cannons here. And on the inside here, he has these things here on both sides that you can remove and have him hold them in his hands. And he has some swords that you can have him hold in both hands, or you can have him double bladed. And also, for his shoulder cannons, it does fire two missiles here. And to fire them, you would push on these gray buttons here. And he does come with 4 of these blue missiles. 2 that are on the shoulder cannons here, and the other 2 which you just saw, which are these 2. And like you already saw, you can store them in. First I gotta get these back. You can insert them into those holes right there. But I'm gonna leave these out for now, because he does have a couple more gimmicks in him, and that is on his elbows. for this elbow, when you flick this, well, when you push on this little switch here, and you have to push it back here. So when you push it back, his hand comes around, and this little gun pops out. And you can also bring this up. And this is where you would insert the other two missiles. And to insert them, you would put them in these two holes here. And to fire them, you would push on these little buttons here. Well, yeah, you would push on these buttons here. And for the other arm here, you would open it up, and then you would take out this thing here, close up this piece, and this thing has a little handle that is connected by a string that you would unravel and have him hold it in this handle, well, this peg here, from the handle into either one of his hands. And he has a little mace weapon. Which is really cool. And that's about it. Oh, one more thing I forgot to tell y'all is another problem that I have with it is the swords, the missiles, and the handle for the mace weapon is all in this light blue plastic. Whereas on the original one, they were just a blue plastic. But here, for the Walmart exclusive, they're just a lighter blue plastic. Which is weird. that's about all of the gimmicks that he does. So, final thoughts, that this figure does look great, but like I told y'all, that this is the Walmart exclusive version, not the original version. But my only problem with the Walmart exclusive version is I wish that they kept some of the color schemes and the paint apps like the original one. But they mostly kept everything about the figure the same as the original one. But there are some parts that I wish that they kept the same. But overall, he still does look great. So I think that's about it. So, oh, but before we go, another thing you can do with this mutant face here is that you can just remove this entirely if you don't want this connected on him. Forgot to mention y'all that. Oh, and another thing I forgot to show y'all is he does have some red paint on his eyes. Just forgot a couple things to mention to y'all. Now we can end this video. So, like I said, the Walmart exclusive version, which is this one, still does look great, but there are a couple of paint apps and color schemes that I wish that they kept the same as the original one. But he still looks great. So I think that's about it. So there you have it. Transformers Beast Wars Walmart exclusive Optimus Primal. And if you like this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to check out my other videos you may have missed, I did set up a playlist. And it's all organized for any reviews you may have missed. So I think that's about it. So thanks for watching.